in there. Hey, well, what happened? We have a right to know what happened. Are you right to know anything? And I'm not drunk. I don't have a right. Who are you? Officer S.A.P.D. Martinez. What's your badge number? Let me have it, please. You want to report on? If push me again, that's assault. That's what assault. Tell me what happened.
No, dude. Nah, hell no. Why are they beating her ass? God, I'm videotaping this.
On April 27th, going into midnight, April 28th, I went into a gas station, Shell, on 527 Ceballos. I had to use a restroom, and I accidentally went through the employee's door. When I went in there, I realized that I had gone into the wrong door. And when I went back into the store, I was confronted by a park police. And he went on questioning me, asking me if I had stolen anything, what was I doing. I explained my situation and told him that I had to use the restroom and nothing more. I went on asking him if I could purchase something so that again I can use the indoor restroom. He wanted to pat me down, and I asked him for his name and his badge number. His name is Mr. Gutierrez, and he's a park police. He was off duty. I guess he was doing maybe a little bit of security there. And then from there, before I knew it, he was trying to, frisk me to see if I had taken anything, which I had no purse, no baggy clothes whatsoever. From there on, words were exchanged, and things escalated to where he punched me in my face and then threw me down on the ground.
But he said you struck first, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is accusing me of assaulting him first. He's stating that I punched him in his throat and that he went down.
And you said you were wearing rings that probably should have cut him if you did.
I had a ring. After the whole incident, after being handcuffed, I had at least 2 or 3 police officers on my back. From there, I was aggressively walked to the front of the store where the ice cream cooler is, where I was repeatedly banged on the ice cream cooler and was told to keep my head down when my head was already down. In the video that we have, where my brother was videotaping, you can see where my head just kept going forward. And each time it kept going forward, I was getting closer and closer to the window store. My family was outside. It was me and at least 3 or 4 police officers with the cashier. They let the cashier out, and the cashier, they stated that he was kind of pacing back and forth, and he was smoking a cigarette. From there, the police officers that were inside the store with me went out acting as if there was a riot and my family was going to do something, or as if they were in danger. They went out there with tasers, they went out there with sticks, and they kept telling them to step away from the store. This whole time my brother's videotaping, and while he was videotaping, one of the other police officers stood in the view of me and the other police officer. So he didn't want to be recorded. From there on, they went on and they booked me. I was arrested, and first I was charged with resisting arrest. From 12 o'clock midnight to 5 o'clock that afternoon when I was released, I was charged with assault to a public servant. There was nothing, no marks or anything on this police officer, park police, on, nothing.
And he was
visible.
a park police officer and dressed in normal, regular clothes?
No, he was in uniform.
He was in uniform?
But he was not on duty as far as for park police.
So did he take it upon himself, you think, to go and approach you, or do you think the store clerk might have told him that he may have went into the wrong area?
When I went in there, they were talking at the register like as if they were friends and they knew each other. Maybe he was working, he's familiar with the area, and he was there, doing some extra work.
Right.
So he did take it upon himself. The cashier never came up to me. He never questioned me. There was nothing done on the cashier's part. It was just done on this park police that I felt was overdoing and stepping his line.
Right.
And he used excessive force repeatedly on me. You know, again, this has already been a week and a half. I was with the black eye. My whole face was swollen. My wrists are cut, badly bruised, badly swollen. I had bruising down my legs and on my feet. I was covered from head to toe. So I've gone to Internal Affairs, S.A.P.D. I've gone to Internal Affairs Park Police. I've gone to KENS 5, and I also went to my councilman, Mr. Saldana. I came here tonight for the citizens to be heard, and I'm not making any accusations. You know, my time will be in court in June, but I just want people to come out, and if you've seen anything, you know, to let them know that I didn't do anything wrong. I'm being treated like a criminal. I'm on probation. I'm having to report every Tuesday. I'm having to take like alcohol and drug tests. You know, the way I've explained to Internal Affairs Park Police, I've told him, if I assaulted him in any way, why isn't he here? Why isn't he here today to take pictures or make statements? You know, I mean, I don't feel like, if I had attitude or not, I don't feel like any of this should have been done to me.
And you stated into today that you felt that the police were here to serve and protect.
Correct.
And
they're here to serve, protect, and they abuse their authority. They abuse their authority, and I just felt that I was aggressively manhandled. You know, I live alone. I have my kids. I have my home. I was just going to start a job. I wasn't able to, because the way I walked in is not the way I would have walked in the following weekend. I was covered, bruised. I'm supposed to do, you know, reception and filing. I'm dealing with the public. So I just feel like, you know, justice should be served, and if anybody knows of anything or has heard anything on this police officers or the officers that were involved, to please come forward and just let them know what happened. Because, you know, I'm being charged a felony.
this could happen to anyone.
It could happen to anyone.
It could happen to someone that had a medical condition, who could have went to a seizure, or they could have had any kind of, you know,
mental, you know, anything where they weren't in the right state of mind.
Right.
I went in there with one intent. I went in there to try to use the restroom and to walk out. The way I walked into the store that day was not the way I walked out.
Right. And you said your brother had some video that the cops they deleted.
He videotaped it that day. The police officers kept repeatedly like telling him to put it away and stop videotaping. My brother again, you know, stated that he wasn't doing anything wrong. He wasn't interfering. He was just recording. I'm his sister. My brother got arrested. They confiscated his phone and they deleted the recording of whatever he had taken. He was able to retrieve it from his SIM card. But he's going to be going down to Sprint, and then I guess he'll just get more documentation stating that, you know, it was deleted at such and such time from this time. We also have another witness, and she recorded everything. She's a third party. She's a stranger. I don't know her. Her name is
Good Samaritan.
Yes, she's a good Samaritan. All I know is that I am so grateful for my family being with me that night, and that the witnesses there were, you know, volunteering, giving information. This is my name, this is my number, call us. You know, she didn't do nothing wrong. She just went in there to use the restroom.
All right. So do you know of any other officers, their badge numbers or names?
They refused.
They refused?
All of them kind of just ignored us and were kind of laughing and not taken serious.
Like they had something to hide, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not doing nothing wrong, that's pretty much, as a public servant, you know, a requirement to show, identify yourself, especially as a public servant, you know.
My family again was locked outside, and this gentleman, he called it in as a man down, and he's stating that I punched him hard in the throat, that he went down onto one knee, and that's when he called man down. When everybody showed up, there was at least 20 police officers. We had gang unit, S.A.P.D, Park Police, and I'm the only one that walked out of that store. There was no riot. Family was not being aggressive with the police officers in any form, shape, or manner. So again, if there's anybody out there today that knows of any more information or that can help this situation, to drop the charges and get him dismissed for myself, my brother, and my cousin.
And you said you're waiting on some other film, the store show?
Yes, I called my attorney and she subpoenaed them on Tuesday. By Friday when I talked to her, nothing had been given. I talked to her yesterday, which was Tuesday, and she stated that the show is they're cooperating and they're going to be giving the video to her on Friday.
Well, I hope everything works out.
Thank you.
I've seen some people go through this, and I've seen some people make it, so just gotta make some noise and just let people know what's going on.
When Ken's 5 went out there to report the incident, they stated that they had just spoke with someone else that had the same thing done to him, but it was done by sheriff.
By sheriff?
By a sheriff. I don't know too much about it, and you know, again, if people feel like they've been abused or mistreated in any way, you know, they have the right to, by a public servant that is again abusing or using too much aggressive force while arresting. They should come forward, you know, because they're here to serve and protect us. We pay their salary.
It's not against the law to film the police.
It's not against the law to record.
That's your right to film the police. And that's probably what's going to save you from this incident. To prove your innocence is that film. So anybody who thinks that they can't film a cop is wrong. They can film a cop. It's already been taken to Supreme Court. They already ruled it to be a right of the citizen. So they're a public servant. They shouldn't be. I don't think they should be. You know, enrolling or enlisting for that job if they don't like what the requirements are.
Exactly.
It's just part of that just comes with it. So.
I mean, what threat did they feel like a female was to them already in handcuffs? You know, I'm not a threat. I was already in handcuffs. So who was the one that was being threatened, or who was the one that was?
I saw the video and it looked like they were slamming your head into that glass.
Pretty good.
It was a showcase or something.
Yeah. Huh? It was an ice cream cooler.
Oh, okay.
So I was thrown up against the ice cream cooler, and then again repeatedly. And my brother, you know, he came out on Ken's, and I hadn't seen the video. I barely saw the video, both of them on Saturday, where he says that you just hear 3 boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my head. That was my face. I got a fractured nose because of it.
Wow.
I have numbness in my hands.
And they had you for what, 12 hours in jail?
Yeah, I got processed like around midnight, and then I wasn't released till like 4:30 that afternoon. And all I got processed were earrings, a ring, a necklace, and no shoes. I had a muscle shirt, and I had some like capris with some sandals.
Wow. Well, what's your name again?
Christina Oliver.
Christina Oliver. All right. Well, I appreciate you speaking out
Thank
and letting people know. Letting us document what's going on here for future reference, because I know there's been a lot of incidents going on. I myself was involved in one a while back, but I appreciate your time and
thank you.
thanks for coming out.
Thank you again.